The phone rang at 2:17 p.m., a familiar ringtone, but the tone was wrong. My wife stood by the kitchen counter, scrolling through her phone with that lazy arrogance she reserved for moments she thought she had already won. "When is your sister's restaurant opening?" I asked. She didn't look up. She didn't blink. Just that dead, practiced voice. "We celebrated yesterday, just for special people." It felt like someone pressed a cold hand against my spine. Special people. I stopped breathing for a moment, just observing her face. The casual cruelty, the confidence, the quiet belief that I was an outsider in my own marriage. No explanation, no apology, no invitation, just dismissal. I remember the exact sound her heels made as she walked away. Measured, hollow, final. Not a celebration, not a party, not a grand opening. A boundary, a message. Later that night, a second message buzzed in the family group chat. "Thanks for the night, everyone. Beautiful event. Photos everywhere." Her sister, her cousins, my wife, mid-laugh, arms draped around people who apparently mattered more than her husband. Not a single mention of me. I didn't say a word. I just stared at those photos, feeling something break and reform inside me. Not anger, not jealousy. Awakening. That was the first fracture, the first reveal. And I stayed quiet, because quiet is where truth exposes itself. I learned that a man never loses by observing. 1 week later, my phone rang again. Same ringtone, different tone. This time, panic. "The bills are overdue. Did you transfer it?" Her voice suddenly soft, suddenly dependent, suddenly remembering that I existed. I stared at the empty space in the living room for a moment before I answered. "Didn't I tell you?" I said slowly. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes." The silence on the other end was electric, like hitting a nerve she didn't know was exposed. "You're not serious?" But I was done being the outsider. I remembered every time her family treated me like a wallet, not a man. Like I was a convenience, not a partner. Whenever I asked for inclusion, excuses. Whenever they asked for money, urgency. That was my betrayal. Not cheating, not a hidden affair, but the truth that my value was conditional. Useful only when they wanted something. And I realized something colder. She didn't love me. She loved the life I provided. She didn't want a husband. She wanted an investment. I didn't respond to her protests. I didn't argue. I simply hung up. The level of contempt I felt wasn't loud or violent. It was quiet, strategic. I didn't brace for a fight anymore. I was preparing for clarity. I didn't try to confront her. I didn't accuse. I didn't even express disappointment. I simply began watching. Phone records, payment logs, receipts, hidden transfers. She wasn't just helping her family launch the restaurant, she was financing it behind my back, using my accounts, my credit, and she genuinely believed she would never have to explain it. I checked the transfers. Her sister received money 3 times in the past month. I checked the texts. "Don't tell him, he'll ruin everything." There it was. Truth spelled out in plain air. A conspiracy of entitlement. And I kept my silence. Silence is a scalpel. No shouting, no tantrums, just cuts. I booked a flight to Switzerland. I checked into the villa I bought years ago without telling a soul. A private place, a place no one could reach unless I allowed it. For the first time in a long time, I breathed. The cold air tasted like freedom. My daughter-in-law called during the trip, shrill, entitled. "If you want to be here for Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes." I almost laughed, because the irony was exquisite. I replied simply, "Enjoy," and hung up. That's when I took the photo of the villa. Crystal windows, private lake, wood and stone against the mountains. I posted it, no caption, just reality. The phone exploded. 71 missed calls from my wife, her sister, her mother, even the daughter-in-law. Greed is loud when it's frightened. She finally texted, "Where are you? We need to talk." We didn't mean, there it was. Not regret, not remorse, fear of losing access. She called again. This time I answered. Her first words weren't, "I'm sorry," or "I was wrong." They were, "Why didn't you transfer the money?" And that was when the truth surfaced. Not about finances, but about her role in my life. I was the provider, not the partner. So I asked one question. "What made you think you could do all of that without telling me?" She had no answer, only stuttering excuses. The mask finally slipped. I didn't shout, I didn't argue, I simply sent her the bank statements she thought I'd never see. The restaurant transactions, the hidden transfers, the private conversations. Followed by a final message, "You celebrated without me. Now live without me." And then I disconnected the accounts, closed the cards, canceled the transfers. Not as revenge, as correction. The silence this time wasn't mine, it was hers. Panic tastes different when it becomes powerless. People think revenge is loud. It isn't. Revenge is clarity. I didn't go home. I didn't beg to be valued. I stayed in Switzerland, alone, in a house built on money she never controlled. She taught me the most important lesson. If someone only respects you for what you provide, cut off the supply. The final message I sent her was the last truth she ever got from me. Some people only realize your worth when it's gone. I never went back. I didn't need to. The moment I walked away, I won. Because the most brutal power a man can hold is the power to no longer care.